to newstreamingnetwork.com. We're the home of goingsolomedia.com and WGSN-DB Going Solo Network, which is our radio station. So we hope that you guys will check that out. Those are our call letters. We are on the show Date the Right One, and we hope that you're going to love this show because it's actually one of my very favorite shows. So I hope you guys are going to like it tonight. I am Cece Schatz, the doyenne of relationship building, and I am a divorce, dating, and a life coach. And those of you that may know me, I have started the Going Solo Network. You guys can reach me on Going Solo Network at gmail.com and watch all of our wonderful shows right there on newstreamingnetwork.com. Well, let's go on to what's important. And we have our wonderful guest here today. We have Wendy Lyon. She's a PhD psychology master certified relationship coach. She's certified in clear beliefs coach, best-selling author, and she's got a wonderful book, and I want to make sure I get it. It's Roadmap to Success. So make sure you guys go on, Amazon and get that because I think it's an important book. But Wendy really guides individuals and couples to create lives they love and the love of their lives. And that's what we want, don't we? We want to be able to find the love of our life, and we want to be, happy when we're doing it. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Wendy, we're going to talk about how to date consciously and find the love you want. And that's a lot. So we're going to cover a lot of ground. So tell us a little bit, Wendy, about yourself and why did you decide to take this route of helping singles with dating?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Cece. It is such a pleasure to be here with your wonderful audience. So hello, everyone. So yes, I'm Dr. Wendy Lyon. I'm a psychologist and master certified relationship coach. You heard all about that. Well, first of all, I wanted to find my own true love. So that's what got me on the path to, wanting to learn everything there was to learn about relationships and dating. And I learned a lot. I've been happily married now for going on 19 years, and I want to help all of you. I've been on a mission since 1999 to help individuals and couples to really transform their lives and create loving, lasting relationships. I know how much you want this, and I want this for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I tell you, I want to do a shout out to you because you help us here on the network. You've actually supported us for many years. You're one of our elites. You come in, you fill in on guest spots, you do all kinds of different things to help us. And so we want to thank you so much for doing that, for being one of our very special guests. We do appreciate you for that. But let's talk about our subject tonight. Let's talk about this conscious dating. How do we, what is the difference between dating consciously and just like regular dating?
Well, there's a big difference, Cece, and most of us don't know that because we're all doing regular dating, which guess what regular dating is? It's unconscious dating. Sorry to tell you folks, that's what we've all been doing. And it's time to learn something different. So I'll tell you a little bit about regular dating, unconscious dating. So this is where, we're meeting people and we meet somebody special. There's sparks. You get excited. We think, oh boy, this is pretty cool. We have something in common. And here's what most of us do. We jump right in. We start dating exclusively. We're in a relationship. We're a couple now. And we think, hey, we're supposed to live happily ever after. This is how it's supposed to go, right? We read the fairy tales. We read the romance novels. We watched all those rom-coms. That's how it's supposed to go, right? You're supposed to meet that person. Well, I guess in those romantic comedies, usually there's that instant attraction and then all kinds of things happen. And then they end up happily ever after. So we get this in our heads like, well, shouldn't that be how it works out? And the problem is it doesn't usually work out that way, unfortunately, as much as we wish. So in real life, what actually usually happens?
Well, a lot of times it just fizzles out.
That happens.
Like you put you do this exclusive thing because you do want to kind of focus on the one that you've kind of does the sparks, right? And so you put all your energy into this one person, and then I don't know, it just seems like the excitement of it kind of dies out for some reason.
Yes, there are many things that can happen, and absolutely, Cece, that is one of the ways it can go. But usually what we find out is this person who we think this is our person, this is the one, we're going to make it work. Usually you're not compatible enough for a long-term relationship to work. And
Right.
sometimes, if you're like me, you're stubborn and you stay with that person and you try to make it work and you don't give up. That was my pattern in my 20s and through a lot of my 30s as well. Not a good pattern. So I had the fixer-upper boyfriends. That's what I did. And I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I've heard many stories over the years. I'm not the only one, where you just hang in there and say, well, we have this thing, we have this attraction, we have something in common. In my case, I would always pick guys who like nature and outdoor activities because I'm into that. But I didn't take the time to see, well, are they really compatible in every way that's important for me? First of all, I didn't know about that at the time. And I really wanted marriage and family. That was what I wanted in my life. So I would stick around when I heard, well, maybe that sounds good, maybe, or someday. And please listen to me. I want to save you from a lot of heartache. If you're hearing maybe, think no. That's probably a no. If you're hearing someday, it's probably never. So that doesn't work. Even if you're trying to make it work, it doesn't work. And nobody wants to be fixed. The fixer-upper projects don't work. Nobody likes that.
Right. So how do we switch that then? How do we switch it to date consciously? How do we?
Yeah, I know you want
to. Right.
We want to switch those old patterns. And I just wanted to share a little bit more with you about a recent pattern with a client.
Okay.
With another version of unconscious dating. There's all kinds of things that happen, but maybe this one sounds familiar to you, where you're jumping from person to person, thinking, I'll know it when I see it. When I find it, I'll know. And that can lead to a lot of heartache, a lot of disappointment. So in Kathy's situation, she was jumping in quickly to relationships before she really knew the guy, and she wasn't being treated very well. She was either jumping out quickly or getting rejected quickly. And all of that was, lots of pain, lots of heartache, awful. You don't want that.
No.
Lots of upset. So absolutely, you want a more effective approach to dating. So, yeah. So here's the thing with unconscious dating is that we're doing it backwards. We think this is how you do it. We think, you meet the person, then you try to make the relationship work. No, that's the wrong way. We've been doing it the wrong way all along. That's what's unconscious. So the way to do it consciously is to get clear first before you post that profile, before you go out to a bar to meet somebody. And going to a bar probably isn't the best plan for meeting somebody. That's not where you want to go. So before you do any of that, you want to get clear. Take time with yourself to get clear. What do I want? What do I want in that relationship? What's my vision for the life and relationship that I truly want? So that's essential for dating consciously. And it's also essential that you believe you can have it. So
that's a key.
You want to believe you can have it. Because so often people, they'll get out there, they'll be on the dating apps, but underneath it, they think, I'm never going to find anybody. This is so hard. I'm going to have to settle. Or they might be coming in thinking, well, there's something wrong with me. I'm really not so great. I'm going to try to pretend I'm okay, but underneath, I don't feel good about myself.
Right.
Like, I work with people on all this stuff. So all these things could be simmering. So in order for you to be dating consciously, you need to know what you want and you need to believe you can have it. And then don't give up. You need a plan, a conscious plan, and don't give up.
It sounds so easy, but I will tell you that it's difficult to do. It is difficult.
I know.
And like when you were talking about being negative, like so many times you read these profiles and they're so negative, right?
Oh,
And it's
don't,
like, oh wow, if that's what their personality truly is like, it's like, do I want to wake up to that and have to deal with that every day? So you want to really make sure your profile reflects who you are. And if you are grumpy like that, okay, fine. Then, share your grumpiness and maybe you'll get a person that'll be nurturing enough to overlook it. But yeah, so I think you have to, if you're online, I think you do have to be conscious about what you write on your profile.
oh,
So
absolutely. Yes, you want to shine your brightest, most radiant self and show up with the photographs and the texts that really capture your essence of who you are when you're at your best.
right. And then also, you'll read these and I'm the world's worst. Okay, I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect, but I read them and I think, oh, he's really good looking and there's a lot of really great qualities about him. But then he's got all these interests that I'm really not interested in. Like I don't really want to go camping. I know you said you're an outdoors person. I'm really not. Mosquitoes love me and I hate them and I'm not going camping. And it's like, glamping maybe, but I'm not gonna go camping. And it's like, things like that. And it's like, I don't like to get dirty and ride through mud puddles in a Jeep and, things like that. And so, I really have to pay attention to what they're saying because men will tell you if you just listen, right?
Yes,
They will tell you.
you want to be crystal clear. So when you're dating consciously, you know what you want, you believe you can have it, you're conscious and deliberate, you're not giving up. And so you don't just have this vague list about what you want, you're clear about the things that are essential that have to be there, the
Mhm.
non-negotiable stuff. And most people don't know that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, they have to figure out what their non-negotiables are for sure.
yeah,
So, we talked a little bit about how to change our mindset a little bit to be more conscious about what we do. But what if we're confused or uncertain about what we really want?
yeah. So take
Yeah.
time to get clear.
Hmm. Yeah.
Do that inner work first before you're going out there and dating. And
Hmm.
I know this can be tricky. It can be very challenging to do this on your own. So it's a lot easier. It goes a lot faster when you have support from a coach, a therapist, a coaching group. This is what I've been doing for 25 years. That's my mission to support you. So get clear for yourself.
Yeah, I agree with that because a lot of us are coming out of relationships, long-term relationships, and we haven't dated in years, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
dating today is not how it was when we were in
absolutely.
high school or, starting to date when we were out of college or whatever. It's totally different. It's the internet. I mean, things have changed. People's lives have changed. They've evolved, and now they're more, in my age group, we're looking into retirement. We're doing different things like that. And so finances are, helter skeltered a little bit too, even though you didn't think it would be at this time in your life. So there's a lot of aspects that we really do have to, kind of come into play, I think, as we're dating,
Yeah,
and really think about.
absolutely. You want to get clear about your vision for this next chapter of your life. What is it that you want in your life, in your relationship? Maybe you're younger, you want marriage and family. Maybe you want to retire and travel with your partner. Now, get clear. Where are you? What do you want? What's important? You need a partner who shares your vision. And it took me a long time to figure that out, believe it or not. I went through a few boyfriends trying to get clear on that. And I got my own coach. I did my own conscious dating program. I knew that the right partner for me needed to share my vision and meet my requirements. It's so simple when you
Mhm.
get that. And you don't, that means you don't get involved with somebody who doesn't share your vision or maybe.
Right, right, right. I mean, I totally get that. I mean, because I was in a relationship one time and it was going really great. And then I ended up having to take care of my father,
Mhm.
and his vision was to travel.
Yeah.
that just shut me down. I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to start traveling. He wanted to get a motorhome and travel the United States and that kind of stuff. And there's no way I could do that. So we ended up breaking up. But it wasn't that he was, a bad guy, because it wasn't that at all. It's just our vision in life, our path in life decided to go a different way. And so, I think you have to consciously be aware of that. So as you're out there dating and you're getting to know someone, you have to be conscious about what's happening to you within the time frame that you're dating. Now, is there a time frame we're going to give this? Like, let's say we meet somebody. Are we dating more than one person? Are we not going to be exclusive? Let's cover that.
Thank you for asking, Cece. Yeah, because of course the old pattern was we zero in on that one person and focus all our attention there and forget about everybody else. That's what we mostly do. Not everyone does this, but most of us tend to do this. And unfortunately, if that doesn't work out, then maybe months have gone by, even years. And there you are, starting over again. So ideally, you want to be meeting several people, getting to know them, not jumping into bed with them, like gradually getting to know them and seeing, is this person aligned with my vision? Do they meet my requirements? And taking some time to get to know a few people. And then after a little while, I mean, it varies. I'm not going to give you an exact number of days or weeks or months. It's going to depend on you. But after some time, then you focus in. And the things you want to be focusing on are not so much as like, what does this person look like?
Yeah.
No, it's not about the tall, dark, and handsome. That's nice, but those are not the requirements that you're looking for. You're looking for shared vision. You're looking for honesty and trust. You're looking for open communication, the things that are essential for you. You need to get clear on what those are. Like if you want children, the right person has to want children, right? It doesn't work otherwise.
Right.
Yeah. So like my husband, it worked because we were aligned. It was easy. I mean, it wasn't all easy, but we're on the same path. We're enjoying most of the time enjoying raising our son, who's a teenager now. And for those of you who have teens, that's up and down.
I know what that's like. I've lived.
We're planning our next adventure. We have created a great life. We're a team. Like, of course, things happen. We've had health issues, stuff happens, but we're a team and we work together. And we're there for each other, supporting each other. So that's what I want for you, to have that person who has your back, who's there for you, who's really by your side. And I would love that for you, so that you can, get that clarity, make better choices, have that.
What about like understanding what your love language is? Because we talked a lot of people talk about your love language, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you also discuss that in your path of conscious dating?
I do somewhat. And also I work with couples too. So that also comes up. Of course, the couples come to me when they're already having issues usually, but I love to work with the new couples to help them get clear. Are we aligned? Do we share the same love language? Are we, compatible enough? Like if you're somebody who needs a lot of affection, you don't want to be with somebody who never thinks to touch you. Mm-hmm. That's probably not a good match. Or if you really like getting gifts and your partner doesn't ever do that. Of course, you can share with the other person. No, this really makes me happy. People can shift a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that you don't have to have the exact same love languages. You just need to be able to meet the other person.
Right. And maybe understanding too what yours is. I know like mine is, I like quality time together.
Absolutely.
And I had a problem in a relationship that was like that. And it seemed like he never wanted to be with me. And I was like, well, why are we doing this? I mean, this isn't working for me. If you're never here, I mean, yeah, just,
yes. The right person wants to be with you. The right partner he or she will be crazy about you, want to spend time with you, really be interested in sharing that time together and pursue you, want to be with you. So I thought we might maybe could delve into a little bit more about we didn't get into the belief stuff very much, and that comes up a lot. I didn't know if you wanted to
Oh,
go.
yeah, I'd love that. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So sometimes you might be clear about what you want, but you don't believe you can have it. So this is what I see a lot, and I wanted to address it because it's so prevalent.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right about that. I think a lot of times when we're coming from a rejection, from a loss of a relationship, we get back in and then there's still that, something within us that still holds us back and thinks that maybe we're not worthy enough or we're not, you know, able to really attract the right kind of person into our lives. So, and I know that we have to do our own homework, for that. We have to do therapy and be with groups and things like that to overcome those issues. But if we think we've done enough of that and we're ready to embark on this, what is your suggestions as we're starting out here?
Well, often when people start working with me, they might show up saying, "Oh, there's no good men or women.
Mm,
All the good ones are taken. I have to settle. I'm too old. It's too late. I'm not good enough." Something like that. So I mentioned Kathy, my client, a little bit earlier,
mm,
how she jumped from guy to guy and looking for love. These guys were not treating her well. They weren't valuing her. They were treating her poorly. And we discovered why, did some work. Underneath, she felt like, well, there's something wrong with me. I'm
mm.
not okay the way I am. I'm not lovable. I'm not valuable. They won't like me when they get to know me.
Right.
We turn that around. So she's feeling beautiful, deserving, like she feels like I should be treated like a queen.
Mhm.
And that's a huge, huge shift when you have that shift in how you see yourself. So that's the work. So I do that deep work. It's like healing childhood trauma, transforming those beliefs. We can do let's do a little thing right now. We can do something quickly. So just
Okay.
notice if when you're just thinking about this, talking about this, if there's some doubt or uncertainty, if you're feeling like, oh, well, that's fine for you to say, but what about me? It's not going to happen for me.
Mhm.
Like, that I hear this a lot, like, that's not going to happen. So how do you show up when you feel that way? Like, well, it's not going to happen. Like,
Yeah, you're very negative, aren't you? You're standoffish, you're negative.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
depressing. Who wants to be with you?
Thank you, Cece. That is what, and then they come to me and say, why am I not meeting anyone? Well, there you go. So that, yeah, you're hesitant, you're uncomfortable, you're negative, all that stuff. So let's just take a moment, regardless of where you are, what's happened, how would it feel? In this moment, you're going to let yourself really feel what it feels like to know that you are absolutely lovable, just the way you are, just the way you are right now. You don't have to change anything. You can have the love you want. Just try it on, take it in, see how that feels.
Yeah, and I think that makes you feel kind of almost empowered, doesn't it? It's
Totally.
uplifting, you feel empowered, you feel self-assured about yourself,
Yeah.
and I think your attraction level is higher when you feel like that.
Yes, right on, Cece. That is exactly what happens. You notice it's a complete transformation. So that switch, that might be all the difference. If you're
Mhm.
showing up like that, you're like a magnet. People want to be around that. Whereas
Right.
if you're showing up the other way, you're pushing people away. You're repelling them. So this draws people to you. It's like, wow, let's go get some of that. Be around that juicy person, right? You got that confidence and worthiness and that fabulous partner who's a great match for you will be so thrilled to meet you.
Right. And I think that's where maybe the wooing comes in, right? When a guy is wanting to date you, when he feels that attraction to you,
Mhm.
he's going to do what it takes to get you to go out. He's going to open that car door and he's going to make those reservations. He's going to do, what he thinks is going to make you happy, what's going to please you because he wants you to choose him, right?
Yes, and I'm so glad you used that word. Yes, so everyone listening, you're the chooser. You don't have to just take whatever shows up. Just because somebody shows up and likes you, that doesn't mean that's your partner. So you get to decide. And yes, you get to choose. And the right person will be worthy of being chosen because that person will be a good match for you.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's exciting, to think that you have a choice, right? And a
You do.
lot of women don't think they're in the driver's seat when it comes to dating, but
Right.
we are in the driver's seat when it comes to dating. I mean, the guy's got to want you, but you have to allow them the space in which to do that. And so
Absolutely.
often we don't do that, do we?
Yes, that's a really good point. Yes.
Mhm.
So it's a matter of believing in yourself and knowing that you deserve to be treated like a queen.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
allowing yourself to receive that love and attention.
Mhm.
It's huge.
And let's talk about a minute when things go wonky, because I've heard a lot of women say that. You go
Mhm.
out on a date and he becomes maybe a little bit more aggressive than he should, or he's talking about sex and it's really not appropriate. And women tend to be not wanting to shut that down. And I think that if we're conscious about what we truly want and we feel that this is not appropriate, then we have every right to shut that down
Oh,
and
yeah.
to realize that that person is not being respectful and is not really what you're looking for.
No, you want to be very discerning
Hmm.
and empowered, and you get to say no and notice the red flags.
Hmm.
If there are red flags, mm-mm, yeah, no, you're not going to be tolerating bad behavior.
So I want to ask you a question. I hear this all the time about, and even on the sites, right? They say, I'm not going to change. I don't want to change. You have to accept me the way I am. Now, I
Mhm.
realize that to a certain extent that is true. But the reality is that we are changing every day. We are evolving every day as we learn, as we grow, as we move forward. And so if we're looking to date someone, if we're looking to truly consciously have someone into our lives, we are going to change. We are going to evolve. We are going to open that door a little bit more, and maybe be a little different than what we were before. Don't you
Mhm.
think?
People change when they want to change, and we can't change other people.
Right.
So don't be trying to change anyone else. But if you're on a path of your own personal growth and transformation, fabulous. That's great. So, yes, we can change.
Yeah.
And
I think really what it is, it's like two mindsets coming together, right? As you're moving forward and growing and developing. And if that doesn't happen, because you do change. I mean, people hate that word change, right? I say shift a lot because it seems to be more gentle. And but if you're on the right path, if you're starting to come together and you're on the right path and you see that maybe something your potential partner doesn't like, then maybe you might not do it, or you might change things or shift things a little bit differently or something like that. I mean, you are going to I think consciously make those movement of change, right, as you're going through your life to if it's what you truly want. That makes
absolutely.
sense.
And once you're in a committed relationship,
Hmm.
then that's different. Like, yes, you adapt to the changes that happen over time
Right.
together. And
Hmm.
you don't just like, you don't just leave somebody because they have a problem. And no, can't have, or like in your case, your father was needing help. And of
Yeah.
course, if you have a true partnership, then the partner is going to be there for you.
Yeah, definitely. And, things could have evolved, if truly wanted to go away for the weekend or do different things. It could have been in play. We just would have to organize it. It would have to, it's just not, we can't just drop everything and just go, but anyhow, neither here nor there. It wasn't the right person. And that's, it's all all there is to it. And so, you move on and learn from it. Now, I know we did talk about like being discouraged and being disappointed in dating. I know we talked about that briefly, but I'd like to cover that a little bit more because so often we start dating, right? And then we're up, we're happy, we're up, we're drawing the people to us, we're really exciting. People love to be with us. It's happening. We're happening on dating. But then you get yourself disappointed if you meet someone and it doesn't work out.
Oh yeah.
About that because they get so disappointed and then they just want to stop dating altogether. They just want to.
I know. I hear it all the time. Yes. Well, the challenge is to persevere and not give up and hold your vision of what you want rather than focusing on what didn't work. We tend to put our attention on, oh, this was supposed to work out with this person and it didn't. And it's so devastating. I get it. I know I've been there. We've all been there. But the key is to be focused on what it is you truly want and not attached to it having to be with this particular person. So yes, you want to continue on your path, be conscious and deliberate, be discerning, get support. This can be really hard on your own. Again, a coach, therapist, group support can be so helpful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mentioned persevering. So Kathy, who I mentioned before, so she kept working with me. She didn't give up. And she met a different kind of guy. They took their time getting to know each other. He's super thoughtful. He really listens to her. He brings her little gifts. He brought her a coffee cup with a black cat on it. Looks like her black cat, and just like sweet and thoughtful. They're planning a trip to Mexico. But like the main thing is he's attuned to her. He's aligned. He's devoted. And she's so like, whoa, this is different. I'm feeling cherished and safe. That's the key. She's feeling safe and comfortable. And she says, guess what? He's treating her like a queen. She's never had that before, and she's never been happier.
That's wonderful. And I like what you said that he makes her feel safe. And I really do think that is a responsibility of a man, that he should make his woman feel safe and to truly listen and be aware if they're not. And so it's something that I think we don't talk about enough. And I think it's something that probably definitely needs to be brought out. I've often said that, if you've dated and it doesn't work out, I just think that you have to learn from what it is and why it didn't work out for you. Be more aware, because maybe you weren't aware when you first stepped into the relationship of what it was that you truly wanted. And this gives you an opportunity to step back for a minute, really analyze it, and then understand, the path, so you'll not create a pattern of doing the same thing over again. And I always think you're like one step closer to truly finding the one that works for you.
Yes. And yes, taking the time to understand those patterns. And sometimes it goes back to childhood issues. And I work through all that with people so that you don't blindly go into the next thing with the next person. You want to be more deliberate, more aware, more conscious, so you can be the chooser.
Right.
You get to, and you get to learn. You certainly learn what you don't want from the past relationships too, right? So that's
absolutely.
When you're clear about what you don't want, you're clearer about what you do want.
Right. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. Well, let's talk a little bit, and we probably only have a few more minutes on the show, but I think this is important, and I don't think we talk enough about the support of a community or support of a therapist or coach or someone to help you along this path, because often we think we just have to go blazing into it, right? And this is why we create these wonderful shows, is so that you have things to listen to, so you become more aware and you really think about what it is that you truly want and how you can go about it and find tips and things. So let's talk about why it's so important to find a support community. And I know you do a lot, so share with us what you do, and maybe those would be interested in maybe joining you on some of the things that you do.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Yeah, I've been doing this work since 1999. I work with individuals, both one-on-one, and I do a group program. I have a conscious dating group program. It's called the Path to Lasting Love. And it's a 3-month program that meets twice a year, which is a really nourishing, supportive, small group where you get a lot of support to get clear about your values, your vision, your essential relationship requirements. You uncover and release blocks and patterns that maybe you've been living with for decades, and you can get rid of those and let go of the habits and the things and the people that aren't supporting you, and really learn to believe in yourself and your vision, and you get a plan, an effective plan, so that you can live a life you love with the love that you want. So that's my work with singles. I do also work with couples. I help them to communicate with compassion, to really reconnect, to rejuvenate their relationships.
I think that's important, because let's say, for instance, you are dating someone and you start, and you think, you really do believe that that person is the one for you, and you start having some bumps in the road, and we're going to have that from time to time. I think it's great to be able to have someone that you can go to, and we can kind of talk and kind of sort out some of these issues, and create more of an awareness in your relationship as to maybe what you need to do and what not to do, and vice versa. And the biggest thing is how people feel, because so often we do things we don't realize that it hurts the other person or how it makes them feel. And so if we can adjust ourselves, maybe the way we speak or we behave or whatever, that we can be a little bit more kinder, I think that makes a big, huge difference. And finding a coach like you to be able to work with, to be able to open the doors of some learning, is definitely a win situation.
Oh yeah, it makes a huge difference. Yeah, I worked with a couple recently, and they started out yelling at each other, and after our work together, they were like a whole new way of relating with kindness, and they said not only are they getting along much better, they're having way more fun, and they have young kids. The kids are doing better because they were fighting a lot, and that wasn't good for the family. So now everybody's like having a good time. So much easier, right? Your lives can change.
That's great. That's wonderful. Well, I did put up the information for you. So if anyone wants to reach out, ask a question, you just go to Wendy at drwendylyon.com. And that's Wendy, W-E-N-D-Y, at Dr. Wendy, W-E-N-D-Y, Lion, Lyon.com. And her website is the same thing, drwendylyon.com. And make sure when you type it in, you put in the HTTPS colon and the backslashes, 2 black backslashes, and then drwendylyon.com. If you don't, backslash, and if you don't, it doesn't, I'm sorry. If you don't, that it won't come up for some reason. So I want to make sure you guys don't miss out, because she has events, she has different things that she does. You know, you got to check the website.
I have free workshops where you learn a lot. I have these great 2-hour workshops where get a lot of support to kind of get an introduction to my 3-month program, and it's a great place to start. And you can also, of course, get my roadmap. Here's
the book. Look at the book there, roadmap.
You get your own roadmap to relationship success, and that's a great opportunity for you to see, well, do I have any harmful beliefs that are sabotaging my happiness or my relationships, and discover what those patterns might be for you so that you can change them. And I give you 7 steps that are proven to shift things, to transform the limiting beliefs and create successful relationships. So
that's terrific. Now, do we
right on my website? Yeah.
Do we get that on your website, or can we get it on Amazon? Is it on Amazon too?
You can go right to my website and click.
Yeah, let's do that. So make sure you guys go to HTTPS colon 2 backslashes Dr. Wendy, W-E-N-D-Y, Lion, Lyon.com / So make sure you go to the website, check out all that she has to offer, get the book, start reading it, empower your life. Really feel like when you're out there and you're starting to date, or even if you're out there dating and you don't feel that you're quite empowered, you don't have it going on, definitely, I think reading, you want to fill your well always with positive information, and connecting with those that have done the work, that have walked in those footsteps. It makes it a whole lot easier. So thank you so much, Dr. Wendy. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you. It has been such a pleasure, and I would love to connect with all of you. In fact, I do occasionally do complimentary love consultations, so check that out as well. Reach out to me. I want to hear from you. I want to help you date consciously and find lasting love. So, yeah. Thank you, Cece. Thank you.
Thank you. It's so nice to see you again. And I hope we'll have you back on again and talk about another subject and things like that as we continue to date and move forward. We learn different things about ourselves. So thank you so much. So again, we have Dr. Wendy Lyons with us. So all of her information, of course, is right on our newstreamingnetwork.com, home of goingsolomedia.com. You can go there. She's one of our elites. She's got her own page, all the information. You can click the links and you can go right into them very easily. But you don't want to miss out on an opportunity if she's got something going on that you can participate in. So it would be wonderful for you. So thank you so much, Dr. Wendy. We love you. Thank you.
Yeah, love you too. Thank you, Cece. Bye-bye.
Oh, it was great having you. Okay, you guys are listening to Date the Right One on WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network radio, TV, and podcast station. We are the #1 internet singles talk network, and we just appreciate you so much for listening to us. Last year we closed out our Roku at 6 million. We want to thank you so much for listening to us. It just warms our heart that you do. We hope you'll stay with us. We are on the Boxcast app on Roku, so there's been a switcheroo with Roku, so you can find us right there. Just go to Box, B-O-X, Cast, C-A-S-T, and then pull up that app and then look for New Streaming Network, and we're all over the place. So we are getting a lot of great response from that. So check that out. So again, if you guys want to check out Dr. Wendy, just go to drwendylyon.com and make sure you put in the HTTPS so you can find her. But we want to thank you so much for listening to us today. I am Cece Schatz, the doyenne of relationship building, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.